Welcome everyone. In this video, I'll teach you how to write a simple business plan.
Hi, I'm Dafan the ProfessorZ, your real-life homeless to Ivy League professor, attorney, and serial entrepreneur.
For many businesses, it starts to get real when you write your business plan. A business plan is an essential document outlining your business. It's required in many situations. For example, when you want to apply for a business loan, one of the first documents the bank will ask you is a business plan. Without a business plan, it's difficult to explain to anyone what your business is and how you plan to succeed. A business plan serves as a roadmap to your success. You should take it seriously and spend a lot of time and effort to get it right. When you face uncertainties later on, you can always refer back to your business plan for help to decide what you should do. Now, there are many ways to write business plans. If you go online, you will find many templates from different places. That's because there's no right way to do it. Rather, the most important thing is to get the right information in a format that's easy to understand. In my classes, I use my own template, which has 7 sections, and we will go through them one by one. The first section is the cover page. You might wonder, why do we even need a cover page? Isn't that a waste of space? Well, like everything else, first impression is key. That's why it's important to get a cover page right. Have you ever gone to a bookstore and see a book and decided that you didn't like the cover page? That's why you never pick it up and read the inside? The same can be said about any business plan. If you don't have a well-designed and well-produced cover page, it might turn off the reader before they even start. So at the very least, you should have the business name, maybe a simple explanation, and the names of everyone who is involved in a project. I think it's really important to make it look nice and format it well, because as a business person, you'll be facing many challenges. If you can't do the simple thing like getting your cover page right, then it kind of tells people how you're going to run your business. People will make inferences and assumptions about your ability to run a business correctly. So it's important to get it right and make it look good. The second section is the executive summary. There are different ways to attack this section, but I would like to see these important information covered. I want you to start off with an impactful mission statement, which should include your core values. If you're unsure how to write an impactful mission statement, I have a video just for you. In this section, you should also follow up with a brief description of the product and services that you plan to offer. Section 3 is a market analysis. You should start by providing an overview of the industry and sector that your business is in. This background helps the readers understand the basics of your industry and what is important that you are in this industry. The more well-known an industry is, the less you need to explain it in detail. But if you're in a very highly specialized industry, you should spend more time here to try to make sure that the reader understands what it is that you're trying to do. Next is target market identification. You should clearly describe who your target customers are and why they are your target customers. You should also describe how big that market is, both in terms of population size and monetary size. Here, if it's possible, you should also include a brief discussion of your competitors. In a more detailed business plan, you should conduct a SWOT analysis and then closely study your competitors. But for a simple business plan, that is not necessary here. As long as you can show that you understand who your competitions are, then that should be fine. Now, for some industries, especially in the startup world, there are no direct competitors. In that case, you should look at the closest alternative to your product. There might not be perfect alternatives, but you still have to figure out who you will be competing against for your customers' money. Section 4 should be the team. If you're starting this business by yourself, then obviously you're the only team member. But if you have other people that's helping you, there are other founders, there are other early contributors, you should include them. For team bios, you don't need super long biographies. Rather, you should write a short and simple bio that focuses on each person's strength and what they bring to the table to make this team better for this particular project. If you need to recruit other people to fill certain positions, and they're essential to the launching of your business, you should include those positions as well, even if you don't have candidates for them yet. That shows that you'll fully consider what's necessary to run your business. Section 5 is the operational plan. An operational plan is a detailed plan that can show that you can take your idea from start to finish. from conception of the idea to delivering the product or services into your customer's hands. So everything between those 2 points has to be covered. To make this section useful, you should include a realistic projected timeline from day one to the day your business launches. Set milestones for yourself, for your team, for your project. But these milestones should be realistic, should be really achievable. I know it sounds good to say that we can get this project from start to finish in 2 weeks, but if that's not accomplishable, don't put it in there. The people that will be reading your business plan are usually experienced business professionals. They can generally tell what's realistic and what's not. And if you provide unrealistic projections and timelines, it signals to them that you're inexperienced or just overconfident. That's never good. Please note that the operational plan is very dependent on what kind of business you're trying to start. Each business have different needs. You want to make sure your operational plan addresses all the essential needs to run your business. The sixth section is the startup capital plan. Startup capital is the money and investment you need to get your business off the ground. This usually includes a long list of equipment, supplies, and other things that's necessary to get your business going. You want to make this into a detailed projection. You should list all the things that you need and the cost that will be needed to acquire them. These costs should be market costs. For many entrepreneurs, the temptation is to try to make your startup capital as low as possible. That's actually counterproductive. If you're presenting a business plan to someone, usually you're in the course of raising money. So in that sense, it's better to overestimate than to underestimate. There's nothing worse than getting a check from an investor or from a bank and then realizing you didn't have enough money because you missed out a few things or if you underpriced a few things. It's much better to be able to ask for more and spend less and have some surplus in your bank. Last, the seventh section is the financial projection. Financial projections are just that, projections. What you reasonably guess will be the financial condition for your business in the future. Usually we expect a 12 to 36 month projection, and what we should focus on are the revenue. You should account for growth from month 1 to the 12th month to the 36th month. Why is this important? Revenue is usually used to determine the value of a business. So the higher revenue potential you have and the more growth you have, the more value your business is. So when a bank is trying to figure out how much money you can afford to pay back, or the investor is trying to figure out how much value you can generate in the business, they will use revenue projections. Now you're in a good position in the beginning because you don't have any revenue yet. So you have a bit of freedom to project what you are likely to achieve. But if you get too far off the mark, then it will become a problem later on. I would say here, don't be over conservative and don't overestimate. Try to make a good projection backed up by reasonable sales figures and reasonable growth. So there you go. Those are the 7 sections in the startup business plan template that I teach. I know I packed a lot of stuff in there. It's going to take you a lot of work to get this plan together. But don't worry, I will make additional videos specific to each part of this business plan. You can use these other videos as a guide, develop the parts needed for the business plan, and put it together at the end. So until next time, this is Dafan the ProfessorZ, guiding you on your journey to success, freedom, and satisfaction. Be successful.